What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. This week we got UFC 326, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2, taking place on Paramount, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time here for us Western folks. This one's for the BMF title. Z, how you feeling?
Oh yeah, man, I'm very excited. We have a fucking banger main event, banger main card, banger prelims. This whole card's gonna be real fun. Be real fun. But if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop a like on this video. Subscribe too if you haven't already, and then leave a comment. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah.
Before we get into this video though, before we give you guys our breakdowns, we are gonna give you guys our quick picks of every single one of these fights, and then we'll get into it.
Yep. So first fight of the night, Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato. My pick is Luke Fernandez.
I gotta go with Luke Fernandez in this one.
Next fight, Gaston Bolanos, moving up a weight class, taking on Jiang Yang Lee. My pick, Jiang Yang Lee.
Here, real quick, so we can get through this a little bit quicker. Joe, just go through all these fights, and I'm not gonna say anything until
Until I
I have
disagree.
a different pick, until I disagree.
Okay, so let Joe cook. All right, Rafael Tobias, Dr. Nurgozhay. Rafael Tobias. Sumudaerji, Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar. That's a tough one. Cody Durden versus Tumendemberel. I'm not even going to try and go find his first name. I'm taking Tumendemberel. Alberto Montes versus Ricky Turcios. Taking Alberto Montes.
Uh,
Dante.
No, I'm taking Ricky
Oh,
Turcios.
real?
I'm
Okay,
taking
okay.
Ricky Turcios.
All right. Dante Johnson, Cody Brundage. Dante Johnson.
Yep.
Cody Garbrandt, Long Xiao. Cody Garbrandt. I can never fade my king. RoboCop versus Bruno Ferreira 2. I'm gonna have RoboCop getting his get back here.
I got Bruno Ferreira in this fight.
Drew Dober, Michael Johnson, the Unk Bowl. I'm taking Michael Johnson.
I got Michael Johnson. Oh wait, no, yeah, keep going, keep going.
Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. I got Raul Rosas Jr.
I got Rob Font.
Yeah. Kyle Borralho versus Rainer DeRitter. After watching Rainer DeRitter live, I'm going Kyle Borralho.
I'm going with Kyle. I'm going with Kyle as well.
And then our main event, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2. Max Holloway won the first time. I think he's going to win a second time. I'm taking Max Holloway in the second.
I'm taking Charles. I'm taking Charles. I got Charles doing it.
All right. Now we will head on over into our actual breakdowns, go over some of these fights pretty quick. The ones we disagreed on, we'll kind of stick around a little bit more and give you guys a little bit more reason for why we think what's going to happen. So let's get started. Let me adjust my monitor. All right. Got Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato, both guys coming off the Contender Series. Rodolfo Bellato was on the Contender Series a while back. And ever since he's been in the UFC, he's kind of been a bit of a dud, in my opinion. I mean, we have another fighter with a very similar record on here. Z, why don't you tell us about it? Tell us what you think.
I think Rodolfo Bellato is exactly like Cody Brundage, which is the other fighter that Joe is
I
comparing
was alluding
Bellato
to it.
to
Yeah.
because they also have like similar records.
Mhm.
Rodolfo Bellato, I mean, he went to a majority decision with Jimmy Crute, but ended up becoming a draw. Had a no contest with Paul Craig, and then ended up losing by decision with Navajo Sterling. The only reason why I'm comparing Bellato and Brundage is because at the end of the day, they they suck. They suck, but they most definitely make it hard. They make it hard for their opponents. They really do. Bellato, on the other hand, though, he did have a showing in a Contender Series fight. Twice. The first time was against Vitor Petrino, and Vitor Petrino is also the only person to ever knock out Bellato as well.
Mhm.
But he lost to Petrino again in the Contender Series, and then I feel like no, I'm not gonna get too much because I feel like we've talked about Bellato way too many times.
We've had him
Um,
on the show quite a few times. I mean,
yeah,
we don't need to go into his history, but I mean,
Yeah,
we can
we
talk
don't
about
need to
Luke
go too
Fernandez
deep
though.
into it. Yeah,
Luke,
Luke Fernandez. Yeah, 100. Luke, 100%, 100%. Luke
yeah,
Fernandez. I think my only worry in this fight is like, yeah, he had that contender series win, which was a very, very brutal knockout. Or, but I think it's like the experience that I'm worried about.
yeah. I mean, we
You
said the
know,
same thing about Navajo Sterling when he fought Rodolfo Bellato. We're like, he's young, he's a kickboxer, and
yeah.
he was. I think he was also 6-0 going into this fight, and then we were expecting a knockout, and then nothing came of it. It was just a long drawn out decision. Luke Fernandez, I mean, he has five finishes, one by decision. I mean, he has the knockout ability. I think that was the thing that was kind of lacking on the side of Navajo when he fought Bellato. Is like, yes, he is undefeated. Yes, he has like this crazy physique, but he's just not putting the guys out when he needs to put these guys out. I think Luke Fernandez could get the knockout here. I think it would be later in the fight though. I think it'd be like a second or third round thing. I think the first round is gonna be kind of him just getting more acquainted since it's his debut. Not expecting anything like insane off the rip. But yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel about it.
One thing I do want to point out here is Luke Fernandez, like you just mentioned, five knockouts. Five knockouts under his belt, and one thing I'm seeing is that he actively participates in grappling matches.
Yeah, I was looking at
He's
his gym right here. He's a BJJ gym participant.
and the fact that he's won a couple of them by submission. Um, I see
Okay.
Luke Fernandez fucking throwing something up on the ground. I
Hmm.
see Luke Fernandez fucking
Oh, he
subbing
grappled with
out
Phil
Bellato.
Hawes. Okay. I mean, shit. How he's getting finishes round one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I definitely see a finish in Luke Fernandez's future here, and it would be
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd necessarily be impressive, but it would be you get your name out there, you're the first guy up on the card, and you get a finish over Rodolfo Bellato, who was another contender series guy that we talked about already, and he's fought some decent names, fought Paul Craig, uh, and Jimmy Crute, but these guys are kind of guys that are kind of out of it now. Um, but yeah, let's move on. Let's go up to the Gas and Bolanos, Jiang Yang Lee. Hmm. What do you think, Z? How are you feeling about this
I
one?
mean, yeah, I got Jiang Yang Lee. I got the Korean Tiger winning this. I know he is off of two fights. He's losing his last two fights. But I mean, he got knocked out by Hyder Emil when Hyder Emil fucking riding on a giant fucking wave,
Yeah.
knocking dudes out. Daniel Santos, that's a reasonable loss. He lost by decision there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got Jiang Yang Lee winning this fight.
Yeah. How I feel about this, you got Ilya Taporia's evil twin here. He's fighting up at UFC bantamweight. Now he's going up a weight class to featherweight, where people have talked about the jump between these smaller weight classes and like how extreme you can see some of like the size differences. And bantamweight to featherweight is one of those ones where you can definitely see that size difference start to happen. That's one of the reasons why Marab won't go up and fight Alex. He's talked about that before. That he's way bigger than him. And you're gonna kind of see it in the numbers here. I mean, Jung Ung Lee is 5'10 with a almost 74-inch reach, and he's fighting a guy who's 5'7 with a 69-inch reach, who's now trying to go up to fill the bigger shoes, right? Uh, yeah, I think this one is. I mean, I see this one going the distance just because it's some lower level UFC here. Both these guys are kind of the lower end of the prospect pool. Gaston Bolaños had he's 8-5, somehow still on the roster. His most recent losses are Marcus McGee, who hasn't fought in over a year. His last fight was Petr Yan, and then his last time out lost to Kwang Lee almost a year ago. And on the other side, Zhang Yang Lee lost to Hyder Mill, like you just mentioned, and then lost to Daniel Santos. Zhang Yang Lee's losses are definitely more understandable. His losses are to against the guys that I would say are definitely part of the higher echelon of the prospect pool. Um, yeah, I see this one being just kind of like a bit of a striker's delight. If there is going to be grappling, I think it'd be on the side of Zhang Lee, however. I think Gaston Bolanos is going to try and just be a bit of a reckless brawler here and get inside Zhang Li's distance. Yeah, I think Zhang Li gets it on the scorecards, maybe 29-28 across.
I
Yeah,
also see I also see a possible late finish here for Lee.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, we could see it. I don't know what's the plan after this. If Bolaños loses, I mean, moving up is already kind of a mistake in my eyes. So if he loses on his debut up a weight class after already having a record of 8-5, does that spell the end of his UFC run? Who knows? Probably. But the UFC kind of has had this weird thing going on where they're retaining a lot of these guys who are on 4 or 5 loss streaks. So we'll see what's next after this one. But yeah, I think generally gets this one done. Next fight up. Rafael Tobias, Nurgozhay. Uh, yeah, my pick when this one was Rafael Tobias. Um, he's definitely the more promising prospect. I'm pretty sure he's making his debut. Yeah, he's a contender series guy coming off of a submission win. Nurgozhay was contender series. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, he was on a contender series, and ever since his debut, it's been a stinker. The guy has problems with grappling. Both his losses inside the UFC are submission losses. Um, One was to Brenson Ribeiro, who I took DR to beat Brenson Ribeiro because I did not think highly of Brenson Ribeiro. And DR Nurgozhay got taken down and got Kimura by Ribeiro. And then he goes and fights Uran Sadi Baldiev, who Sadi Baldiev's debut was a heavyweight bout where he fought, I can't remember his name. Um, but he took that to the decision, and then now he gets his light heavyweight debut in the UFC against DR, and just bitches DR. Like it was like a masterclass against DR. So I don't know. I don't know if DR. I mean, DR does have good hands. He has good power. That's kind of his thing. Is he's got good KO power. Obviously, the grappling's not there, and I think that's where Rafael Tobias could really take advantage of him. Especially when he's coming off of a submission win. You kind of like if you're a DR, you're like, fuck, am I about to get sub 3 times in a row now? And I think it's definitely very likely to happen round one, if not round two, depending on how this next fight looks. DR really has to, I don't know. I don't know. He's really just got to have the puncher's luck because his grappling just seems really shitty, in my opinion.
yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. This Rafael Tobias guy. I mean, this is the first time I'm learning about him. But for this to be his debut, um, he most definitely has the correct pedigree coming into this. He's 14-1.
Damn, dude.
He's 14-1. He's coming out of shoot a box, from Brazil. He's only 22 years old. This is the type of shit I like to see. I like to see these young prospects coming in here, riding on a pretty heavy winning streak. I mean, he's on a 6 fight win streak. And he looks like he's very well rounded. I mean, look at his finishes that he has on the belt. He has 5 wins by knockout, 6 wins by submission. I most definitely see Tobias getting it done inside the distance here against Dair. Uh, like you said, he's had 2 hiccups ever since he hopped into the UFC. Dair and his first loss in the UFC against Brenison Ribeiro. That's not a good loss in my opinion. That
Yeah.
is not a good loss. And to lose your next fight after that, I think I think Tobias is gonna get it done. I think he's gonna be one of those young prospects that we're gonna see surge, in the next couple of years.
Yep. Moving on to the next fight on the prelims. Got Sumudaerji, Jesus Aguilar. I was pretty hesitant, really trying to make a pick on this one, Z. Um, what do
Yeah, I
you what do
heard
you
it.
think? Yeah,
Yeah, I heard it.
I don't know.
Um, I agree with you. No, trust me, I agree with you. But I mean, Sumudaerji, before he won his last 2 fights, he was on a big losing streak against dudes like Matt Schnell. See,
Yeah,
The Tim Elliott one is a little arguable. Charles Johnson one is most definitely arguable.
yeah,
But the Tim Elliott one is only arguable because Tim Elliott beat Kai Asakura.
yeah,
But Sumudaerji beat a Mitch Raposo and Kevin Borjas. Yeah, Kevin Borjas looked real fucking good at the start of his fight against forget his name, but it was a UFC Mexico. Borjas looked good at the start and ended up getting starched. And then you got Jesus Aguilar,
Oh,
who was a
Imanol
little
Rodrigues.
yeah, Imanol. But over here you got Jesus Aguilar, fucking fast pitbull chihuahua. This dude is tiny. He is so tiny, but even though he's tiny and he has those short arms, he is very quick and he has some pretty heavy power in those punches. I'm pretty sure he dropped Luis Guerrero a couple of times when they had fought.
I won't say.
But either way, Aguilar, he's one of those fighters who's able to get in and out of distance. He's able to get inside the pocket and break whatever distance there is, and he's able to break your guard and just gets inside of you.
It's fast.
No homo, but yeah, he gets inside of your guard
Pause.
real fast, real
Mm.
fast. So I think Sumudaerji is gonna have some issues with that. But I feel like if Sumudaerji can get this fight to the ground, Aguilar maybe he might have an issue because like that's another thing as well that I remember from the fight with was trying to get the fight to the ground as well, but Aguilar is too fast, dude. And he's that's the thing with these real short dudes is that they have a lot of fucking strength. They have a lot of strength. They're small and they're powerful.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go with the underdog in this fight in Jesus Aguilar,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy in my opinion that he is an underdog.
Yeah. Yeah. Sumudaerji's last time out, he was really heavy on the kickboxing against Borjas. I feel like I was watching a kickboxing fight between the two. Uh Aguilar, I mean, isn't like the joke that he's like the apex lord. Like this guy fights really a lot in the apex. Uh he is the shorter guy and he has the really short reach. I think what his reach was like 64, 62.
Like
So he's
62.
coming in at a huge reach disadvantage. But I think his skill set is much cleaner and much more balanced than Sumudaerji. Sumudaerji gets submitted a lot. I mean, looking at his record, when you just look at it overall, I mean, the dude has one submission win, 6 submission losses. He's never been knocked out. I think the game plan's pretty clear for Aguilar. I mean, yes, he is a smaller guy and he packs a lot of power. I think if he can get his grappling going, because he is a guy who has more submission wins than KO wins. He has 7 wins by KO or by 7. I mean, I think his game plan is going to be get this to the ground. I think if he gets this to the ground, he's already won half the fight. You know, I think wherever he goes, whether he goes club and sub or if he just goes straight for the ground and pound, I think he's got it on wraps if he can get this to the ground. Because Sumudaerji apparently just has a really tough time when it gets there. You're getting submitted by Matt Schnell and you're getting submitted by Tim Elliott. I mean, Tim Elliott, I think he's got pretty good ground game. Matt Schnell, I'm not very familiar with it. But it's two guys who are right on the cusp of the rankings. Tim Elliott actually is ranked. Matt Schnell is. I don't think he's anywhere near it anymore. I don't think he's. I don't even. That was 4 years ago, roughly. So, but yeah. Moving on to our next fight, up on the prelim, Cody Durden and Niem Gargle Tumendemberel. Woof. What do you think, Z?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the dude that's not named Cody Durden.
Hey, go.
Um,
All right, all right.
I love Cody Durden. I mean, I love his story. I love seeing all the that he gets back at home. But I mean, you, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. You got the win out of Matt Schnell in last five, but you have just been getting starched
Mm-hmm.
by all these dudes. You got starched by Bruno Silva, which I mean, decent. It's decent loss. The Van loss is most definitely understandable. Jose Ochoa loss, it's 100% understandable. I forget that Alan Nascimento. I forget who that.
Yeah,
But
I've only seen that dude fight like once. So
yeah, I don't know. I got. I don't even want to try to say his name. This Tibetan guy or his Mongolian guy. He's
Mongolian.
Mongolian. My fault.
You're
My
good. You're
fault. My
good.
fault. My fault. He is Mongolian, and he's 27. 9-1. Yeah, I gotta go with this guy. I don't really know much about him. All I know is that Cody Durden's been losing. Looks like this Mongolian guy has been on the road to UFC.
Mhm. Yeah, we
Did he
watched
lose? Did
him.
he lose the finalists?
No,
Is that what?
he won right here. It was against Terrence Saturn, I think.
But then he lost before that against some dude named Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, this is the fight we watched. We watched that fight, and I think we took him to win. And then after that, for some reason, he went back to Road
Well,
UFC and went through the circuit, which doesn't really
for
make any
sure.
sense. But
For sure. Well, either way, I don't really know a whole lot about Buddy. I do know a whole lot about Cody Durden, and he
he's been
he looks
chinned.
good. He looks good for the first 30 seconds, and then as soon as he chinned or gets hurt, it kind of shuts off.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with Art of the Knockout to chin Cody Durden and put
Y-
him out.
yeah. I got Tumendemberel definitely inside the distance here. I think he can get it done. Uh, Cody Durden, yeah. I mean, he's past whatever prime was there. I'm pretty sure. So I think Tumendemberel is going to step up to the plate and hammer it home. Moving
Cody
on.
Durden. Cody Durden looks
Yep.
like the white guy from Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. The white dude who goes to high school and he gets sent over there.
Yeah. Next one. So this one, we disagree on this one, Z, or no?
We did disagree on this
Did
one.
we? Okay. We got Alberto Montes versus Ricky Turcios. You're on the side of Turcios.
Yeah,
I'll let you go first, and since you got the underdog here, unless you want me to go
I
first.
just
I don't have much to
no
say
both
about
these.
Montes.
Well, to be fair, okay, I'm just gonna say this: both these guys are coming off of a layoff.
Hmm.
Both coming off of a year layoff. Montes most definitely has the better record. He is 4-1 out of his last five, compared to Ricky Tercios, who is 2-3 in his last five.
Hmm.
Um, his losses, Tercios' losses. I mean, Amin Zaha and Raul Rosas Jr. Those are understandable.
Hmm.
The Sopaj loss. It's a little iffy, just a little bit, just a little bit. Sopaj was most definitely one of those dudes who was like, there's a little bit of hype around him when he was coming into the league. He's also one of those young prospects as it's an understandable loss. I don't really carry a whole lot of weight with it, but I feel like Ricky Tercios though. I feel like he's gonna this fight um with the leaf turned over.
Hmm.
I feel like Tercios may have found something, and that's kind of what I'm banking on here. I guess is that Tercios has turned a new leaf here in his career because he most definitely needs a win here. He most
Yeah.
definitely needs a win here because they're trying to push him out here. They're giving him a guy who is fresh off a contender fight almost a year and a half ago, and he's making his UFC debut against Turcios. So this should kind of tell you if you're Turcios. There's a little bit of a disrespect here. They think I'm washed, so they're giving me a 31-year-old prospect who's 10-1. Yeah, I feel like Turcios can get it done. I don't think he could get it done inside the distance. Um, I feel like he can get it done on the scorecards.
Okay. Um. So yeah, Ricky Turcios. He's another guy who's moving up a weight class. So it's kind of that same problem I talked about earlier. Um.
Oh, this is he's moving up a weight class.
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of on the side of Montes because Turcios, when he was gonna fight Smotherman, he was gonna fight him at the bantamweight, and then now
Well, see,
now he's going
see
up to this guy up on featherweight.
another thing that kind of makes me feel better about that. I mean, I didn't realize that he was coming up a weight class, but like one thing that does make me feel better about that is the fact that he hasn't fought since a year and a month
Yeah.
ago, Ricky Tercios.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit better than that than I did before, because that makes me feel like he had more than enough time to prepare.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what that fight with Cameron Smithman was going to take place about a month ago. Was that on the Gaethje Pimblett card? Can't remember what card that was on. That was a while ago.
Because didn't he fight recently?
He was supposed to fight Smotherman, but then Smotherman fell on his face.
No,
That
that's
what?
what I was saying. Oh,
Yeah,
that is right.
yeah. So the fight got canceled, and so now here we are
That
with
was
the
that
new
was
fight.
on the Gaethje. That was on the Gaethje
Yeah,
card.
yeah. So
Yeah, and I
Alberto,
mean, hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting
no,
you
you're
off,
good. You're
but
good.
I mean, you're saying that that fight was supposed to be at featherweight, correct?
I think that was supposed to be a featherweight, or no, that was supposed to be a bantamweight fight between him and Smotherman.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, never
now,
mind.
he's replacing that fight by deciding to go up and fight a featherweight
Because I
bout.
was just about to say like Turcios looked great at the weigh-ins.
Mm.
You know, he most definitely didn't face plant like some other fighter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the side of Alberto Montes, he's 10-1, and he's a bit of a jujitsu ace. A lot of his wins are by submission, and I feel like that's kind of like what Turcios is kind of. He's a good wrestler. His grappling is pretty decent himself. Um, Alberto Montes, I feel like having the size advantage, he might be able to big brother Turcios. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna look like come fight night, whatever. I don't really know what Alberto Montes looks like, but reading the size wise, he's gonna be the smaller, more compact fighter. He's 5'7", 69 inches. But he's a featherweight guy, so he's got more of the Volk build from what the numbers kind of suggest. Um, so we'll see what it looks like come fight night and when these guys do have their face off. But I think if this does touch the ground, I kind of favor Montes more because I mean, reading his record, he definitely has a bit more of a submission success. Um, but Turcios has only been finished twice inside the distance in his career. Every other time's been on the scorecards, so he's lost 3 times on scorecards. We'll see what happens come fight night. I mean, I'm just banking on him coming in on his debut, coming off Contender Series win, and kind of just having size advantage. But we'll see. We'll see where that really looks like. Moving on though, we got Dante Johnson, Cody Brundage. See, what do you think?
Man,
We just talked about his brother Bellato.
yeah, I just before we get into fucking tomato can Cody Brundage, I just want to get into Dante Johnson real quick. Saw this dude on the Contender Series. He gave absolute belt to ass, and then in his debut against Cedricus Dumas, he does what everyone did not think he was gonna do. He fucking chokes out Dumas. He gets a guillotine choke on Dumas and fucking puts him out because Dumas wanted to wrestle for some reason. He just pulled the wrestling out of his pocket and decided to wrestle in that fight. Dante Johnson said okay and fucking dragged it out a little bit, but ended up getting the finish. I really like Dante Johnson in this fight, and I understand that he's a minus 500 heavy
Is he right now?
favorite as of
Oh
right
yeah,
now on
should be.
Tapology. And yeah, he should be. You got Cody Brundage, who, like we were just talking about, he has that weird fucking record. He has a no
Mhm.
contest. He has a fucking knockout win, and then he has a draw, or he had a majority decision, which turned into a draw. And then he lost to a fucking terrible fight against Eric Conoco, straight bar fight, and then gets bitched by Cam Ralston.
Yeah.
And exactly like I was talking about with Bellato, Cody Brundage made that fight really hard for Cam Ralston in the first round, but
Mhm.
Cam Ralston ended up bringing it back and put Cody Brundage out. I see the same thing kind of happening here. I feel like Brundage is gonna have some high points really early into the fight, but Dante Johnson, I feel like Dante Johnson is he's just gonna be like, what the fuck, for a
Yeah.
couple of seconds, and he's just gonna turn it around. And I see Dante Johnson getting a finish here first round. I see Dante Johnson putting him out early. And now that we know Dante Johnson can also find a submission win, I think he gets it down. I think he gets it done quick, real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with you whatsoever. I definitely see Dante Johnson inside the distance here. And the thing about Cody Brundage, he's got one of the shittier records in the UFC up to this point. A loss probably does guarantee him being cut. I mean, 11-9-1 and having one of the weirder records that we've seen. Um, yeah, I would definitely say that you lose to the guy who is a surging prospect, and you're definitely on your way out. 3 fights in a row, losing. I think it probably does spell the end of you here. Yeah, I was gonna mention that Z. I definitely do see a first round Cody Brundage masterclass where he looks like he's fucking next level, and then Dante Johnson smokes him down.
I did notice this just now. That Rouston fight was only like a month and a half ago. Not even.
Yeah,
We have a
that went.
little
Oh
under
yeah,
month
that
and a
was.
half.
We watched that. I remember watching that with you.
That
Yeah.
was that was at the end. That was in the end of January. Yeah.
Wow.
Brundage is choosing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Maybe
so
not
so
then.
so I fully believe Dante Johnson could get belt to ass in round one. I just noticed that. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about that. That is
Erase what
such
I
a
just
short
said. This
span.
will not be a round one masterclass. It'll be a round one masterclass for Dante Johnson. I think Cody Brundage will try to spam the leg kicks and maybe try and wrestle, and I think that's where he's gonna fuck up. If he does try to wrestle at Dante Johnson, I think it's gonna be quick. I don't see this one getting out of the first round. All right, moving on to the featured prelim. Cody Garbrandt, Long Xiao. Z, what do you think?
I don't know, Joe. What do you think? I'm just kidding. Uh,
Ah,
Cody Garbrandt's so funny though. I just want to say he's so funny now that he has that
fuck it,
tattoo
the sword.
goes down the sword. I don't know. Brundage he's always been a funny fighter to me. He's kind of like the white version of Bobby Green, or my fault,
King, King.
King Green. Um, yeah, I think Cody Garbrandt could get it done though,
He's the underdog.
and he is the underdog.
Yeah, it's a weird one because Cody Garbrandt, I don't know, ever since he, had his fight with Dominic Cruz, I feel like that was just like the ultimate quick peak. And then now he's just been on this like steady decline. Um, I think it's just because we know what he is. We know he's got some really great boxing. We know that he's fast on the jab. We know that he moves well around the cage, but his wrestling has been pretty subpar. And you know, Biggie exposed it, and Ronnie Barcelos exposed it, and luckily he gets a fight here where he's probably not going to get wrestled. He's going to get the brawler in Long Zhao, and how Cody Garbrandt handles the pressure of a brawler in his face is going to be something we haven't seen in a while. Um, So I think it's just something new, and I think it's something that Cody Garbrandt is going to be a lot more familiar with, and I think that's where technicality is going to beat the maniac. Uh, I see Cody Garbrandt definitely landed some cleaner shots than Long Zhao, and probably out voluming him. Um, I do kind of see this one probably hitting the scorecards. I mean, it's not that Cody Garbrandt doesn't have the power to knock out Long Zhao. He's just a hard guy to knock out. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think Cody Garbrandt gets back in the win column here, and especially as an underdog at 34 years old. He hasn't fought in 8 months. I think this would be a good win for him. And Long Zhao, I think he was a road UFC guy. Yeah, he was a road UFC
he
guy.
was.
Yeah, he came in. His only wins against Kwang Lee, which is a okay win, not the greatest win. And then you lose a Su Young Yu last time out. That was who we were calling the Korean Khabib, if I recall.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think Cody Garbrandt gets this one done. I think he gets it done on the scorecards. All right, let's go into our main event. We got RoboCop Ferreira. We got Greg Rodriguez, Bruno Ferreira fight number 2. First time these guys fought, it didn't last very long. It was a pretty quick knockout in the favor of Hulk. Knocked out RoboCop in the first, and these guys have been kind of on similar trajectories ever since that fight. RoboCop, ever since that loss, has been kind of on the resurgence, and he's kind of looking like a beast. I mean, in his last 5, his only loss is to Jared Cannonier, who's been a kind of a top 10 gatekeeper for the middleweight division for a while now. Bruno Ferreira, he's on a 3-fight win streak, and his last loss was against Abus, and I think that was Abus's debut, if I recall. I could be wrong. Like I think that was Abus's debut into the UFC. Um,
No.
It wasn't?
No, I think that was his. No, that wasn't his debut.
Okay. But anyway, so these guys both have really good jujitsu, and I think what we're gonna see happen in this fight is this fight might get stretched out a bit longer. Maybe we do see the second, maybe even the third. Bruno Ferreira in his last three, his last win was against Marvin Vettori, which I picked Vittori in that fight because I was hoping and praying that Vittori was not washed. And I was hoping and praying that he would get back in the win column because he was a title contender, dude. He was the guy that's fighting for the title, and he was fighting some of the upper echelon of the middleweight. And then he loses to Bruno Ferreira, gets his ass beat by Bruno Ferreira for 3 rounds. And RoboCop, his last two, he fought Jack Hermanson, starched Hermanson. Hermanson didn't stand a chance in that fight, dude. It was insane. And then he has a fucking striker's delight with Kopolov. And that was a great fight. That was a fight where I was even scratching my head on who I wanted to pick. I think I ended up picking Kopolov in that fight just because I liked the quick kickboxing. But RoboCop proved me wrong. And I think I got to side with RoboCop in this one. I think he's just gonna show the better improvements. I think his striking has gotten better. Um, we know what his grappling is. We know he's a high level grappler. So is Ferreira, and I think that's why this one's probably going to stay standing. And if it stays standing, I think we see the more technical striking on the side of RoboCop here. What do you think, Z? How do you feel about it?
I
Scratching
got
your
Bruno
head?
Ferreira winning. Nah, I got Bruno Ferreira winning this fight. I got match. Um, I don't think this fight goes to decision. I don't think. I think it gets long. I think there are a few points where it gets long. I think it hits the third round, but I
Mhm.
don't think it hits the scorecards.
Mhm.
Um, Bruno Ferreira, I don't know, man. The only thing that I'm worried about is the power coming back from him from Gregory Rodriguez, because Gregory Rodriguez most definitely has that one punch power to put your lights out.
Mhm.
Um, Ferreira though, I like the way he looked in his last few fights. I really did. In his last fight with Mark Tory, he didn't really gas out a whole lot. Um, he was able to beat the brakes off of Vittori all the way up to the finish.
Yeah.
RoboCop, on the other hand, I've seen him gas out just a little bit. I've seen him start to get tired. I can see like RoboCop like trying to throw haymakers because he's obviously trying to get his lick back. He's obviously trying to get somebody back from. I feel like RoboCop's gonna gas out. I feel like we might see a tired RoboCop come round two, and Ferreira just drowns him. Anyways, my pick Bruno Ferreira by TKO. Our next fight though, Drew Dober and Michael Johnson.
The Onk
The
fight.
battle, the battle of the Unks. Drew Dober is 37 years old. Michael Johnson, 39 years old. Oh my God, guys, what a fucking banger. I am glad that we have this on the main card. If you cannot tell, I am being sarcastic.
Hmm.
But I have Michael Johnson.
Hmm.
What do you think about that, Joe?
I got Michael Johnson as well. I think this fight is really going to be a high paced and violent fight. Probably going to be a very bloody fight. Drew Dober does not fight clean. I think we've seen plenty of his fights. We've talked about him on the show before. Um, when we went to our Vancouver show and watched him beat Kyle Prepelec, and then when he fought John Silva, yada yada. I mean, we know what this guy is. This guy is the embodiment of violence. He will fucking walk you down, even if you're beating his head in. He fought Manuel Torres. He's fought some of the just better strikers in this division. And I think Michael Johnson is one of those guys that we can also put in that category of the better strikers in this division. He's very technical. He was a massive, massive underdog against Daniel Zellhuber, who we're not going to talk about, but was a massive underdog in that, and he put a masterclass on Zellhuber. Um, he's got the longer range. I mean, just off the top of my head, yeah, he's the longer guy, taller guy. And he's the guy who fights just cleaner. I mean, he's really got to mind his p's and q's in there with Dober. But I think as long as he can maintain a range to where he can pop off a jab and pop off the kicks and just make Dober pay from distance, I think that he's going to have the more success here in this fight. Um, and I don't know if he'll chin Dober because that is kind of a hard feat unless you're just one of the more violent guys that's willing to go into the fucking pits of hell to go fight Dober. But I think if Johnson could keep it clean and fight a great fight, I think he can get this on the scorecards. But there might be a sprinkle on a Dober KO if it's fucking good enough. Because Dober, like I said, he is the violent guy. He is the guy that if this does get dirty, he has the chance to chin just about anyone. And Johnson, we have seen get chin before. It's not a very common thing, but it could happen. But my confidence is totally on the side of Michael Johnson in this one.
Yeah, I think Michael Johnson, he's gonna be able to manage his distance. I think he's gonna keep that long distance striking. But at the end of the day, though, exactly like how you said,
Damn it,
Maggie,
cat.
come on.
Maggie.
I think exactly like what you were talking about, Drew Dober. He's a brawler. He is a brawler. He will get up in your face no matter how much you're peppering him up, and he will keep walking you down, and he'll stay in front of you. But Michael Johnson, he looked great in his last fight against Zellhuber.
Yeah,
He was able to stay on his feet, was able
he dropped
to
him.
get out. Yeah, he dropped Zellhuber a couple of times. I agree though. I mean, look at Drew Dober. Look at that fucking Minecraft head of his, that block head of his. It is hard to chin Dober. So I think Michael Johnson could get it done on the scorecards. I think he'll be able to keep his distance and he'll be able to shut down Dober just a little bit.
Mhm. Next fight up on the main card, we got Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. This is the Raul Rosas show. Uh, this is his time to get his name up in the rankings. And who better than Rob Font, who was for a while he was a ranked guy and he was holding steady in the rankings. Now he's not anywhere near where he used to be. Only winning 2 of his last 5, and we watched him live in Seattle a year ago, and he got that very narrow win over Matsumoto where you definitely can point back to that third round where they go for the glove touch and then he shoots the takedown and just kind of just greases him. If he doesn't do that, if that fight stays standing and and where that fight was headed, you could probably say Matsumoto's going to win. Even without that, you could say Matsumoto may have won that fight. Outside of that, Rob Font, we kind of know what he is. He's like I said, it's kind of the same story as Garbrandt, where he's got the excellent striking, and he's kind of the prospect killer, or he has been in the past. He beat Kyler Phillips, beat Matsumoto, lost to Martinez though, and that's kind of where I draw where we start to see guys kind of figure him out. Martinez just outclassed him. Martinez is also a top 10 bantamweight now. Raul Rosas, I don't like his striking very much. I don't think he's going to have a lot of success with the striking, but I think his grappling is going to be what decides where this fight goes. And I think if he gets on the horse quick, he might be able to find a submission in the first. But Rafa has had pretty good success with the anti wrestling, if I recall. But Raul Rosas is pretty high level, especially at the age of what he's 21 now. Yeah, I mean he's a younger guy. He's got 17 years on fucking Rob Font, dude. That's a pretty heavy. I mean, that's probably one of the bigger gaps you'll ever see in a UFC fight. Um, and Raul Rosas, I mean, ever since he lost to Christian Rodrigues and he got just out wrestled, ever since then he's really figured it out. I mean, once you lose your first fight in the UFC, you kind of start to figure things out, especially when you're one of these younger prospects. And he really has. I mean, his close win with Vince Morales. Vince Morales had him in a bunch of chokes, and that was really a sweat. I mean, I think Raul Rosas was super heavy favorite in that fight. Um, I think if he gets the wrestling going, and I think he just handles the things he needs to, I think he could get the win here. I think Raul Rosas Jr. by submission is really going to be the play here. I think it's going to be plus money because Rob Font, I don't think he's been submitted very many times in his career. I think he's lost mostly on the scorecards, right? Yeah, he's only been submitted once. He's lost a bunch on the scorecards. So I think if the Rosas subs plus money, that's going to be one of my bigger plays this week.
Yep. Um, I got Rob Font, dude. I got Rob
Yeah.
Font winning this fight. I think the experience is going to show in this fight. I believe Rob Font will. I believe Rob Font has the tools to kind of shut down Raul Rosas' game plan.
Hmm.
Because I mean, what happens when Rosas gets hit with fucking nasty right Rob Font?
Yeah, who knows?
He feels that power from Rob Font, you know what I mean? And kind
Mhm.
of that's what I see. That's what I see happening here. I see Rob Font putting putting in a couple of combinations on Raul Rosas and kind of forces Rosas to implement that grappling wrestling game plan, and I feel like Rob Font's going to be prepared for that. I feel like Rob Font, like I said, will have the edge in the experience,
Mhm.
especially an octagon experience, and I see Rob Font getting it done on the scorecards. I think it'll be a real gritty fight. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I do believe in Raul Rosas. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong, because this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the card. Buddy is only 21 years old. He is still going to college. He was still going to college when he was fighting.
Yeah.
He was still going to high school when he was fighting.
Mhm.
I love that shit. I love seeing these young prospects come in, especially with the hype that Raul Rosas Jr. has. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he won, you know, but this is most definitely the toughest challenge.
Mhm. It's a step up
Um,
for sure.
it's a step up 100%. But I believe Rob Font will have more experience, more experience in that fight.
Mhm. Next fight, we got the co-main. This is one that I think Z and I have been matchmaking for quite a while now. You know, when you talk about some of these top middleweights, this is one of the fights that I think we kind of circled on paper and we're like, if this happens, this could be a fun fight. Um, now given given the recent fights, both coming off of a loss, but kind of both under different circumstances. One lost in a gritty back and forth 5 round banger, with now who was about to fight for the title, and the other quit on the stool in the fourth because he was getting his ass beat. Um, Borralho is definitely my pick in this one. The head of the fighting nerds, he's just been better in his UFC run. I feel like Granted Ritter kind of got a bit more of the cupcake schedule to get to where he is now. I mean, he started with a fight against GM3, and then he got, what was it after that? He got Bo Nickel, or yeah, Kevin Holland. No, he got Kevin Holland after that. When Kevin Holland should not be
And then
fighting a
Bo Nickel.
middleweight, and then yeah, he got the Bo Nickel fight, and then he got the, I'm not going to say washed Rob Whitaker, but he got the Rob Whitaker fight in a split that you could argue Whitaker probably won. And then Brendan Allen beat him so bad that he retired on the stool. The other side, Cabrera, he fought Mikal, who is now one of his training partners, beat Abus, which was a big win at the time, beat Paul Craig, which was kind of a big win at the time, but was also kind of a whatever fight, because Paul Craig was one of the guys who kind of lurked around for 2 years, where you could say like, wow, how is he still in the UFC? And then he beat Jared Cannonier. This was a big win. This was the biggest win of Borralho's career. And then he fights Nasruddin, and here we are. Yeah, Caballo, I think he's good. I think he's just going to outclass Rayner on the feet. I think if this fight stays standing, I think it's Kyle all day. It's gonna be a 3 round fight, so that's what's gonna be kind of weird for me to kind of predict what's going on here. But I think Kyle can really outclass Rayner for 3 rounds, maybe even get a knockout. I think he really presents a lot of problems for RDR, who is just gonna be, jujitsu fucking and trying to hug up on Kyle and really, get nasty with the clinch. I think Kaio is just going to be the one in better shape, because last time we saw RDR, he quit. And when you see guys that quit, you really start to question where their gas tank really is. And we know Kaio has a great gas tank.
100%. Yeah, I got Kyle Borralho winning this fight. I think I 100% agree with you. I'm not trying to repeat anything that you're saying, but I really do believe Kyle will be the more, like you said, he'll be like the more like athletic fighter. He'll
Mhm.
be the more, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it, because like I said, I'm not trying to repeat what you just said, but it's
It's a big fight for
My pick,
middleweight.
my it is 100% a big fight, and we have a lot of action within. I think Kyle Borralho gets it done though.
Do you think he gets it done inside the distance, or you think it's gonna be a decision fight?
I think it'll be a decision fight.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the better choice than a KO. I feel like a KO on the side of Kyle is kind of a stretch, but it could happen. I mean, we'll see.
If if Kyle gets a finish, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Z, do us the honors here. But before you do us the honors, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Get ready for Z's breakdown on the main event. If you guys haven't already, leave a comment. Tell us how you're feeling about this card. Let us know your rating, scale 1 to 10. Because I mean, for this to be a numbered event is definitely interesting because this is one of those cards that has a lot of mixed star power. I think you know the main card is pretty decent. Numbered wise, who knows? Let us know what you think. Z, get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, we're the third numbered event of the year. No more pay-per-views. They're numbered events now, and we got Max Blessed Holloway versus Charles Dubronx Oliveira for the baddest motherfucker belt. That shit's so stupid. I'm gonna be real honest, real quick. The BMF belt,
BMF
like
sounds better than that.
I the BMF belt in general, like I liked it
The
when it
gimmick
touched.
belt,
I liked it when it touched Gaethje and Dustin, not fucking Masvidal and Nate Diaz.
right?
But anyway, I mean Nate Diaz, that's valid, not Masvidal. Anyways, we have Charles DuBronx Oliveira versus Max Holloway. Max Holloway is the current belt holder of the BMF title, but I got the underdog winning this fight. I got Charles Oliveira winning this fight. I mean, Charles Oliveira said himself, he he feels different now that he got put to sleep that way against Ilya, the way he got knocked out. He said he's been knocked out before. He said he's been dropped. Not like that. He said after that experience, it completely changed the way he saw things, the way he looked at things, his whole perspective. And then he gets another opportunity after that and goes fights in Brazil against Mateusz Gamrot. Some can argue Charles Oliveira got the fucking aura buff. He got the
The
hometown
Brazil
buff,
buff.
the Brazil buff. He got the Brazil buff. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Charles Oliveira is true to his word. I believe Charles Oliveira is rejuvenated since he got fucking flatlined from because he went out there and bitched Gamrot.
Yeah,
He took
yeah.
the fight where he wanted it to be and kept it there the entire time. Now, on the other hand, though, you have Max. To be fair, I haven't really seen Max Holloway grapple a whole lot because every time Max Holloway fights, it's a striker's delight.
Mhm.
Uh, it's hard. It's hard because like yes, Oliveira did get chinned. He's been chinned before. He got chinned by Chandler. He got chinned by Dustin. He got chinned by Gaethje. You know, he gets chinned by anybody who has good striking and decent fucking power.
Mhm.
And you have Max Holloway on this side, who's probably one of the best boxers in the whole UFC, in the entire history of the UFC. He has the highest significant strikes in the UFC history. That's my only worry. That's my only worry is that Oliveira gets pieced up by Max Holloway because he's gonna. I mean, it just I guess where I'm going with this is like when is Oliveira gonna hop on his back? When is he gonna try to take him down? When is he gonna implement the grappling? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? When is that gonna happen? Because from what I've been seeing on social media and embedded vlogs, both these guys want to strike. Oliveira is getting ready to fucking strike and stand and bang. Oliveira even said it himself. As soon as Max Holloway points to the ground, there's nothing else to do but to strike. Oliveira said it himself. I mean, how many times have you had fighters say, "Oh, that I'm with this," but Oliveira did say Max Holloway points to the ground, he's not going to do anything else but strike.
Hmm.
But with all that being said, though, I got Charles Oliveira.
All
I
right.
got Charles Oliveira.
And for those that watch Quick Picks, I got Max Holloway. And all I'm gonna say is Max Holloway at lightweight kind of has been a bit different than what we saw him at featherweight. He definitely brings the power with him up to lightweight, and I think that was one of the worries. It's like, is he gonna be able to handle some of these lightweights? Obviously, he beat Gaethje, smoked him down for the BMF title, and then he gets Ilya Taporia. Anyone who gets Ilya Taporia is probably getting served up on a platter. I mean, that's just how different that dude is. And then after that, he goes out and he beats Dustin Poirier in their third fight, and he made it look easy. I mean, he was probably up 4-0 going into that fifth, and I think he even got the 5-0. I think he got the 50-45. Um, he's just a problem when it comes to striking. He's so good at being technical. I mean, that's just one of his blessed talents as a you know as a fighter is he's got some of the best boxing in the UFC, and it's it's not even the power that kills you, it's the volume. He will just pepper away at you for rounds on end, and then you'll eventually just get so worn out that you just crumble. And I don't see him just totally just smoking down Charles Oliveira in the first round with some fucking crazy right hook from hell like Ilya did. I think it's gonna be the time and the volume, and I think the longer this fight goes on, and the more success on the feet Holloway has, is where I see him kind of turning the tide. I think if Oliveira wants to get this done, he's got to be in his face. He's got to be the brawler. He's got to make this fight dirty. Otherwise, if this fight stays clean, it's going to be Holloway. If this fight gets dirty and it gets reckless, I think that's where we might see Oliveira shine. Because we know that if he wants to have as much success as he can, he's got to get to the ground or he's got to just find Holloway's back. Um, and just from what we've seen recently, and what we've seen Oliveira get hit by. Yes, you mentioned Chandler. You mentioned all these other guys with the significant striking power. He did come back and win those fights. So even if
Yeah.
Holloway throws his best, is the best going to be enough? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, my pick is on Holloway. We'll see what it looks like come weigh-in night and when we go over our Friday show. But that is it for the Tuesday show. That is it for our picks, our predictions, and our breakdowns. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on Friday. Stay cozy.
Hey, Cozy, thank you guys for watching. Very excited for this card. Baddest motherfucker belt on the line. Goes down in Las Vegas. Stay
Yeah,
cozy, guys.
stay
Catch you
cozy.
on Friday.
Later.